Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am in my garage because in today's video we will be cleaning WeatherTech floor mats for a car. Alright, so as you know, my channel is Good Clean Fun, cleaning tutorials and how-tos. We are not limited to cleaning toilets and bathrooms and showers and kitchens and all that kind of thing. Actually, one of my biggest hobbies is detailing cars. And behind me is my wife's 2013 Toyota RAV4. She bought it brand new, and one of the first things we did was we replaced the car mats with WeatherTech mats because I think they make a awesome product that is basically life-proof. With this particular car, she's got a lighter interior, so it's actually gray. And as you can see down there, she's got the gray mats. Now, most of my other cars that I've ever had WeatherTech mats, they've been darker in color. So the problem that we've found out about having with the lighter color is that they get dirty really easy and they're not that easy to clean. So as you can see, you know, it really goes with like the seats with that lighter gray, but as you can also see, it gets really dirty. And because these are floor mats, of course, they are expected to get dirty. One little disappointing factor for WeatherTech is their branding fell off. It normally would be in that rectangle there, but it is no longer there on both the passenger and driver's side. One thing I really like about the WeatherTech mats specifically, they are kind of expensive, but they're laser cut for your make and model. So these things fit more perfectly than anything you could pick up at an auto parts store. I actually reached out to WeatherTech on Twitter to see about how I could clean those, and they were pretty good in their response time. First, they came back with this. So I said to myself, of course they have a product for that, and of course there's a kit, right? But what about the average person? You know, what about the layman? Can we clean this with household products that you know, anyone would have, and you don't have to buy anything extra? I was grateful that WeatherTech did include in their tweet, as you saw, you know, an alternative solution, which was to use mild detergent and a gentle bristle brush and avoid products like Armor All, which is perfect because I wasn't going to use your Armor All anyway. So yeah, we're gonna test that out today. I've actually tried to clean these before, so we're gonna use their suggestion, and I'm just gonna bring you guys along. I'm not sure if it's gonna work or how well it'll work. I did want to point one other thing out in the tweet response that I got from WeatherTech, and that was to not use a silicone-based cleaning product like Armor All. I used to have a Toyota FJ Cruiser. It came from the factory without carpet. Just because you could literally hose it out if you wanted to. Like, it was ridiculous. But it didn't come with carpet. And so when I actually bought mine, I bought it secondhand, and the former owner, they had actually applied Armor All to the flooring in that car, and it never went away. I owned that vehicle for almost 5 years, and it was still just really slick, which is a problem. And a lot of people will use Armor All to make them shine up and everything like that. And so I totally understand why they would say that about their mats, because obviously you don't want to be using something like that, which I guess would be a silicone-based cleaner. It's going to make the mat slick. I just wanted to point that out because I know a lot of people use Armor All, and I'm not knocking Armor All. I actually use it. So just wanted to share that before we get on. Now we're going to clean these things up, I promise. Okay, so we're on my back patio, about to clean the mats. Just want to show you what we're working with. This would be hot to warm water, I would say. I'm going to be using these brushes, you know, just some of these multi-purpose brushes that you can find at the grocery store, Home Depot, wherever. I think this one is typically used for like cleaning out pots. I decided to just use Dawn dish soap. There's Indy. She made her debut in my Dyson video. If you haven't seen that, check that out. But she is the antithesis of clean, but we love her, so we keep her around. I'm surprised she hasn't turned yellow. If you can see my table here, when you get like eye level with it, you can see how much pollen is on it. And we wiped this table off yesterday around lunchtime, and so it hasn't even been 24 hours and we have that much pollen. I'm just gonna get posted up and start scrubbing these things down. I quickly found out that this job was going to be a chore. I found out that the green brush was really what you want to use. The other brush, which I think is used for cleaning kitchen pots,
Was nice for the corners and the crevices, but pretty ineffective by comparison. I also found out that you really don't need the bucket with the water in it. What worked best for me was to dampen the mat, apply a marginal amount of dish soap directly to the mat, and then apply a whole lot of elbow grease. And while we're on the subject of elbow grease, I actually lucked out in that I filmed this during the coronavirus pandemic, and all the gyms and everything else was closed, so I ended up getting my workout in. So be prepared for that. So after scrubbing and agitating the dish soap, I would just let it sit there for, maybe 30 seconds or so before I rinsed it off with a water hose. Really not a whole lot to it, but I did learn a lot on the first go round, and the second mat was a lot easier to clean.
Let's take a look. Sorry for the shaky cam work. All right. So it's a noticeable improvement. I am actually very surprised. I was expecting to see a whole lot more staining. And then another thing, the reason I love these mats so much is like you could spill your drink and you see how it just collects in the mat. Literally just remove it and dump it out, and I guess do this whole method to clean it up and let it dry. You put it back in. It's awesome. So, and that's exactly what I'm going to do with the next mat. It'll be the exact same process, but overall I'm very pleased. I can see in certain lights, I can see there are some stains still there. I might try and go back and get those later. They also might just not be coming up, like no matter what I do. But yeah, overall, big improvement. Throughout the process, I could see kind of how dirty the water was getting, so I knew it was getting up stuff. And there at the beginning, I could even visibly see certain areas getting cleaner. But yeah, highly recommend that. I don't know that it would be worth purchasing WeatherTech's proprietary kit or whatever when you can just use soap and water. Like, do that. Don't buy their stuff unless you just want to. I mean, support them, buy their mats for sure. But don't feel like that's the only option to get these things clean. And I know this was, kind of a longer video. I appreciate you watching and sticking it through with me, and I hope that you learned something. If you have these mats, I did try to clean them before. I think I even took a pressure washer to them, and it didn't really do much. So just a little bit of elbow grease and soap will do the trick. But I appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to do the exact same thing to the passenger mat, and we should be good to go. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Thanks, guys.